Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel, and today I'll be sharing with you 6 beginner tips that will definitely improve your game in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Let's get into it. Number 1. Check your sensitivity. Depending on whether you're using a mouse or a controller, you can use both for PS5. Make sure that your configuration for your controls and your sensitivity is optimal based on your preferences. Don't just use the standard setting. You can always change that whichever way you want to suit you, because everybody has a different preference for the way they use their controllers. You can also change the different button selections in this setting menu, so definitely go for it if that's something you want to do. Number 2. Know your map and know it well. There are tons of maps in this game, and you won't like every one of them, but the ones that you do, make sure you know them well. This will make all the difference in how you compete with your opposing team. The more you know your map, you'll know when to use which weapon, where to hide, and where to find the enemy, and where the enemy might come from. So it's really important for you to know. For example, Nuketown here, in this shot, I'm using Bullfrog here because you are more likely to bump into your enemy in the smaller map. And then you have Garrison here, where I'm using a long-range rifle, and I know where the enemy is or will be, and therefore I'm ready for them, and I have my weapon and my strategy accordingly. Number 3. Your choice of weapons and the loadout. This is directly in connection to the previous point I made about understanding the map. You should already have different kinds of weapons and customizations set up for different scenarios that you might face once you've understood the map. Now, you can use different mods to improve your weapon, but there are different perks here as well that can help you during a fight. Call them small little superpowers, if you will. But there's this one thing I really wanted to share, this wildcard called the Gunfighter wildcard, right over here. This is extremely important. I use this only now because it allows me to attach all the modifications to my weapon. Normally you would only be allowed, I think, 5 or 6 mods, but this wildcard really changes that and allows you to attach all the modifications, which improves your primary weapon a lot. So definitely go do that. Do equip that Gunfighter wildcard and choose different modifications according to your taste. So you should have something ready for a map like Garrison, for example. Garrison has a very long range situation here where I use this rifle and I know the enemy will be there, and this is a long corridor. It helps me a lot over here, so I have a weapon ready for that. Then you have Checkmate here. Similarly, I have a sniper rifle customized just for this map, and it helps me well here. It's pretty effective. This is not to say that you can't use shorter range weapons. Then you have Nuketown. I personally use a lot of SMGs. For example, this is Bullfrog here. It helps me a lot since I keep bumping into enemies, and you will too. Obviously, it's a smaller map, so I have this weapon ready for the situation. So have a list of weapons and customized weapons ready for that. Number 4. Movement. I've seen a lot of players just stop dead in their tracks to take aim and shoot, and then they don't move even if they've killed somebody. This is a big mistake. In any FPS shooter, you should be moving around, and you should be moving around deliberately. Here, I'm taking a shot. Although I'm aiming down my sight and taking a shot, I make sure I hide behind an obstacle when I'm reloading. Here, I make sure when I move, I have my sights on torso or neck level whenever I'm moving. Here I'm running, I already have an aim on the head because I'm moving, and I make sure whenever I'm moving, I have my aim straight up to where the enemy's head or torso will be. So as you can see, my movement is always in a way that is aimed toward the torso. Here again, I'm able to get this kill because I'm already aimed at an optimal point where I can aim and shoot for enemy heads or torsos. Number 5. Listen and don't be heard. So this is another underutilized skill that you need to have in this game. You need to listen carefully for footsteps, for gunfire coming from the left, right, behind you, in front of you, but you need to listen carefully. Here's a good example. Watch what happens. So I didn't even know that this enemy was there until I heard his footsteps, which alarmed me immediately. This is a very mild example, but it's extremely important nonetheless. And vice versa, don't be heard yourself. Try crouching or moving slowly. Don't let the enemy hear you. And last but not least, keep your eye on the minimap. This minimap is your best friend during a fight. As you can see right now, I can see a little orange dot show up in front of me in the minimap, and I know that there's an enemy there. And that orange dot shows up every time an enemy shoots or makes a noise by throwing claymore or grenades. So it's important that you look at that minimap, because even if you can't hear anything, it'll let you know where the enemy is. Here, for example, I can see another dot, and I knew the enemy was there, and I immediately picked them off one by one. So it really helps you. Sometimes the footsteps alone won't help because the enemy is too far away, but they will give themselves away by making all that noise, which you'll pick up, and then you'll pick them off. So it's important that you listen based on our previous point, but also look at the minimap. Use both visual and audio cues to help you out during the fight. And those were the 6 simple but extremely effective ways to improve your game in Call of Duty Cold War right now. I hope they were helpful, and I hope they improved your game. And thank you for watching. Until next time.